natural food. I sometimes eat outside today, Kijama Sam. And those guys are closed now. Have you noticed? The ones is this side. They've closed. And the recent could easily down to the cost of material. Maybe about 80%. Those guys used to say on the serious note, yo, they would serve in my head, I would be like, so how much profit are you making if you're serving us this much? And if you continue like this, you make a mistake, your cost of material becomes roughly 70. It can also go to 80%. You're no longer gonna make profit at all. You're gonna sell, you're gonna go buy masapu and pap and cook and serve us. And at the end of the day, you have nothing. And that time, you are expected to make profit. I saw those guys first semester by May, they were gone. I like masapu, I was eating it. I won't act as if I wasn't. Now I'm a natural guy. And I get to Limpopo. Draw forward, I get your house. So, guys, let's go also make sure protocols are reserved. Do you understand Soto Gamgaranagan? Are not issues again. Guys, I have to make sure. Agri-Soto is part of decolonizing the education, guys. Nothing else. So now this guy has a current gross profit of 10,000. How wishes to increase gross profit by 5,000, which when you compare the 10,000 about 50%. Again, how do you prove that? Or he wants 50% increase. You would say 5k over 10k multiplied by 100 equals to 50%. That's how you get it. Ne? Okay. I'll go to another method that makes life easy. So he wants to increase this profit cap 5,000. So I'm going to say my new profit now, profit is equals to the current profit again, 10k plus 5k, which is new again, then total becomes 15k. So he wants to make 15k. Again, it's a new profit. Ne? Then our percentage increase of that profit now. How much percentage? Because you can't say to a manager, I'd increased by 200 rand. Managers don't care for those such figures, the 1%. So now when you're talking to, okay, I told the previous class, now I am born and raised by a slave vendor. And I know one thing that is fair about slave vendors. They don't care about the material cost. And that's why they shut me down. Understand? And every time there are mouths to feed, there's us, the kids, who needs to be fed. So if you don't care about such things, you will struggle. So if Kochai Hunali bottle store, Kochai Hunali Kota, Hunali tuck shop, Malume Hunali whatever, because I know all of us, we are coming from one member of the family is into the informal business. Ne? And these are the things that you can propose and start analyzing for them and see where they're making. I know Horunal allowance slave queen yana jump that one because hey, you don't want your auntie and your uncle fighting. Yeah, boy. I'm a guy. I took screenshots. Get chapter 11. Yeah. I got a lot about technology, so I don't look at pages. I take screenshots, I bring on this writing pad of mine so that I can write. So now we want to know the percentage increase of that. Percent increase. Increase. As long as Huasa Erasmus Monaring Secondary School say no spelling say it's run insufficient fund. And I live 1 hour 30 minutes ke route, so I'm tired like a bit. I don't know why they combine our classes, but I'll continue. So we are saying current, the new profit minus the old profit over the old profit. This is where change changing profit. So you're gonna now have, you're gonna be left with 5k Kamukaudim over 10k. So this is how that was derived. Ne? Multiply by 100, then 50%. I don't know whether it's you guys or where we were doing percentage change. So we needed to track percentage change. So you needed to say the current minus the previous over the previous, and you get change. Yeah? So we are proving all these things. They are not part of the example, but we have to prove them, all of them. So now we are using the first method, which is how wishes to increase the profit by that figure, 50%. He would like to compare two strategies, reducing material cost versus increasing of sales. From your common sense, which one is better? Common sense is fair. Which one is better? Okay. Mara since it gets to register put that 8,000. What's the difference? Don't you want to sell more? The more you sell, the more you increase. Understand? If we were supposed to sell 10 bottles, and they were like, no, we're going to produce 20 of these bottles, you need to understand for it. To get that 20, you spend more. And at that time, when you work, nothing costs like you work. And I always make an example of us payments. Where they wanted the more expensive payments, yeah? We used to produce it around about 20,000 liters. Yeah? Then the whole pay was fault. Yeah? And those guys, you know what they did? They reduced the cost of material. Not the cost of material per se, in terms of how much you are consuming when you're producing something. They compromise the quality of the material, the raw material. You understand? Now this thing is weak. We are coming to produce it with the, remember Plascon, they will say paint it, then you must get a bench, something like, it's more like a process plan. It tells you, pour this 1 kg, pour that 10 kg, stuff like that. And imagine because of it's a 20,000 liter tank, obviously, it will be 7,000 kg stuff. Yeah, they produce it, they do, then nothing fail because they need to test stuff out. It's the system of testing. It fails. They never figure it out. But the guys in the plant, they're like, no man, the brand name of this material is different. What is happening? These people are buying cheap material now. And then the chemical concentration is no longer adding up. Then next thing, they did what? They had to divide it by 2, we get 10,000. And then we reproduce the very same thing now, 20,000. It still failed. The 40,000 liters of paint. Enough paint that can fill up this thing. It failed. You know what they did? Where would you want that? They pour it in the buckets. You go to the shops. They know by experience, none of their paint because the Plascon. Who are you to say Plascon produce fake paint? Wow. Then they never complained. I was like, oh. Then we asked ourselves, what are trends make food industry? I think you're the one inspectors. That's what you say. How did industrialism happen? Industrialisis. How did it happen? If they're looking after the process of making food. It's only one company that sends own inspector. You Willis. Whatever. Rena corruption it goes deep. So now we want to prove if we were to do this 5,000 increase, ne? So we said it's 5,000 increase, it goes to 15K. We want to know will we get that amount? But we are reducing the material cost. Okay, so now we're gonna start with new material cost. Keep this in mind, guys. Material cost, you can only reduce it. Okay, so it's over 60,000 rand minus 5,000. Let's just say 60K for argument of space. Again, a space. 60K minus 5K. So whatever that you're making in profit when you're using this strategy, you just pull it from the material cost. You understand what I'm saying? Whatever in profit extra you're making, you must deduct it directly from the material cost. Because the aim is to reduce material cost and see the effect. So we wanted 5,000 more, we go and effect the 5,000 more. Not compromising quality also. You understand? Do not compromise quality. Compromise quality was slaba, because you're going to have problems of defected. Recently they recalled 3 million Koo cans. 3 million. At the time, when every time we buy a Koo, we always include 6 of those. Like grocery, we always include 6 of those. Ready jail by that time, but they are recalling 3 million. And you're like, these people trying to kill us or what? We ate those things already. And students most of the time don't have fridges. You rely on canned food. Now as a student, and I was never a spoiled student, so I know Pakistan is number 1. The eggs, I know that. So our new cost is becoming how much? 55K. Okay? So now, profit, it's equals to sales minus the cost. We need to mention all the cost. Material cost, MC. Okay? That is changed. Minus the production cost. Minus the fixed cost. You rather me food, I give you a mark. Whenever you Americans see a 15-year exam mark in your test, whatever, it's obvious. It's my own doing. Again, salon pattern marks if I couldn't. Sky matter after. No, I always do it by default. If I give you a 50, cook something for you. Email, I can do anything. Hey guys, that statement is dangerous. That statement is dangerous. Now I'm married. I'll lose too much. I'll lose my wife. I'll lose my kids. I'll lose my job. Too much to lose. Can't do that. So, huh? Okay. What's the material cost? Sales. Wait. Supply chain is 60%. Good. Then there's your table here. Sorry about that. There's your sales here. There's your sales here. Then there's your material cost here, which is 60% of the sales. And then production cost, your fixed cost, and your current profit. That 10%. 10% of 1,000 rand. So that's your 100 rand. We are trying to make it the 1/5. So we reduce the material cost and we see how best can we do it. And then sales 100K minus the new material cost of 55K minus the production of 20K minus 10K. The profit is I see a 30 plus, which is 85, okay? 100 minus 85, k 15, okay? So it becomes 15k. So this is possible to achieve and obtain in a plant. See that multi-million plants. Eskom they rely on coal. So you need to find a way to reduce that cost of coal. That's all about the supply chain. The biggest problem as Eskom is one. If you use a wagon, a train, you'll carry enough coal to run us a whole month. But ANC Eskom prefer trucks. You need 100 trucks, each shipatalwa 35k to 40k to deliver the coal. Instead of upatale maybe 100k of one train that is state owned. You can even get that thing for free if you want and deliver once. They prefer to deliver 100 times because it makes logic for a tender premier. It makes logic, but I must make money. And the moment you propose this, they'll say that EIE thinks that it's clever. They'll end you. You've seen it again. They're killing people who are whistleblowers. As much as we need to improve processes in the plant, can't do it when you're dead. Okay? I mean, I'm enlightening you for it. You withhold, you relax, you don't just, no, this process doesn't work. You must fire 300 people. Wait. You'll be using the same taxi and traveling with those people that you want them to be retrenched. Pella, you know when we get to industry, none of us went there with the car. Understand? We must use the public taxi with those mothers and fathers who don't want to work, just like the ones here. In our case, you see how dirty our class is. Somebody's getting paid every month. Then when we deploy the robot, it's like cleaning the whole night and day without getting paid. They go destroy them. They go and attempt to kill the person who implemented that. So as much as you have to improve, do it knowing. You need to know when to press and when to not to press. I know when we're young, we are enthusiastic. We think that we can solve all the problems of any industry. Don't rush to automate. I'll tell you that for free of charge. Yes. Okay. Supply chain deals with what? With inventory. Né? And it tracks inventory from raw material to production and all the way to finished goods that are delivered to the customer. Understand? And then, ideally, you must also reduce your production cost. Understand? Ideally. So both of them are effective that you can use to reduce your cost. Because as I'm saying, how do you reduce your material cost alone, not reading onto the repercussions of you might compromise the quality? As I mentioned, Plascon, we bought cheap material and we paid double. I'll make an example. You want a phone, you buy a Mobicel. From the inception, we later, before installer WhatsApp, it's slow. You spend 3.5 at that time. Now you must go spend 6k for a nice phone. Cheap sometimes is expensive. So you do these things balancing all your possible options. If you were to say, I want to reduce the cost of the material of a paint, meaning those powders they use, You must take them to the lab, reprocess them from scratch, and see how much exactly am I really saving. Because you might find, if this was a cup of tea, you scoop one scoop to produce your normal tea. Now the sugar tea, what do they call it? The sweetness. It requires 5 spoons, this thing. Yet it's cheaper. But it's gonna get finished quickly. What will happen? What is the cost over time? So now we are just showing you between aiming to increase the sales versus aiming to reduce the cost. Which one is important? The material cost alone is not enough. Although what I like about material cost, remember our inally handling cost, inally storage cost, understand? So if those your perishables, something it is like an aeroplane fella, or it is like a smaller car, or something stored in the fridge, maybe you might consider just in time get a local supplier who will supply you with cabbages on a daily basis or with mazamba on a daily basis, and you know that you no longer have storage costs. Understand? So you only have handling cost. Maralona, you need to know for it. The economic of scale, you might not achieve it because if you buy in quantity, you always get what? Discount. So all those factors, you don't just say, I want to reduce the material cost and then that's it. You can't. You must look all factors. In the shipping industry, I realized that they are on yachts. I know something far-fetched from most of us here. Lena, myself, I don't even dream to be there because that thing is super expensive. But in a yacht, I know some of us will get there, but not everyone is average. Each delivery that is made, the person who's delivering, who are working on the boat that is used to deliver, they get paid per delivery. And they get thousands and thousands per delivery. So imagine then if you don't go for bulk buying, you want to say, I will deliver a pizza in the middle of the ocean, they charge you 1,000 rand. You won't win. You must buy 10 pizzas if you are sure about that. You need 10 pizzas, 10 wines and stuff like that. But like in the boat, I was doing normal food like wood and stuff like that. They're eating exquisite food. The shelly fishy, the jellyfish, the this thing I'm forgetting them. The rice, man. What do you call it? Sushi, little prawns and stuff. Oysters and things like that, things that are out of reach. But now we also want to know what is the percentage on the material cost. So to get the percentage, you say 5K over 60 multiplied by 100. So this is a percentage reduction. Percent that we must reduce. So it's going to be in a negative form. Percent reduction. The percentage that you must reduce. Then you're getting this, which is going to be around 5 over 60. That is 5K over 60K, guys. This 5K here that we are dealing with, where is it? This one. We said with this strategy, we need to save. We need to reduce that amount that we need for the profit. Again, we reduce it directly from the material. So that 5K, you divide it by 60 and then you're going to get a figure. How much is that? It's in a percentage form. Okay, let me do it for you. 5 divided by 60 is equals to times 100, it's equals to 8%. So it will take us to reduce 8.3% of what? Of the material cost to achieve 50% of profit. This is how much reduction you must pay. We are just reducing waste. We are reducing cost. We are reducing cost to obtain our desired profit. Now another strategy, Siri. What if we increase the sales? Meaning increase the production cost and the material cost in order to achieve our desired profit. By how much are we supposed to increase the sales? That's what we're trying to do now. Let's increase the sales. First and first you want to do, you must use this formula in somewhere. It's there in the textbook, but it's hidden. It's going to be profit. We know our desired profit, which is 15K, equals to sales minus that percentage of sales, but sa material cost, minus percent sales, but ya production cost, minus fixed cost. Fixed cost is standard, it doesn't change. If you are using fixed cost to the government, they say you will pay 500 rand every month. You will pay 500 rand despite of the contracts. It's like a contract of things. If you 1,000 gig, if you finish it, you finish it. If you don't, you don't. And they remove it and then they add a new one every month. That's how things work. So that's a formula right there. Then we know our desired profit, it's 15K equals to sales, we don't know sales, minus 0.6 of the sales. Remember they mentioned earlier that 0.6, which is 60% of the sales, is going on to material cost. Again, so minus 0.2%, no, I mustn't say 0.2%, 0.2 of the what? Sales minus 10K. Then these two, that's one, these three. So this and that, it was 0.8. You see that? Negative 0.8 minus 1. I get 1 minus 0.8, it was 0.2. So now I'm going to move this guy. I'll use a red pen. I'm going to move this guy to that side. On negative, over positive Africa, and then these two about 0.8 at copan. Then we minus, you do the solve for x. Let me just erase because it gets into space more. Then 15K plus 10K equals to 0.2 sales. Divide by 0.2. Divide by 0.2. Which now sales is equals to 25K divided by 0.2, which is equals to 125. Yeah? 125K. 125K. Like in full. Because why there's a moderator? Moderator, if it's already. You have space in your script, guys. You're not like me, just writing food. But if it happened, I'll try to fight for you. No? So, what do I want? Like, okay, what do you want? So, this 125K, we come back and we prove it. Let's prove it. Then proving it, I would say to you, I want to know what is the new. I want to know what is the new material cost and production cost. That's what I will say to you. What is the new material cost and production cost? So through proving it, you will know how much are those things. Again. So we know that we desire profit of 15K Now we have that 125k minus 125k multiplied by 0.6. Because if it's the 60% still remains, it doesn't change. Okay? It's a 60% of sales, but the sales have increased. The sales have increased. Minus 125k multiplied by 0.2 minus 10k. We want to know the new material cost and the production cost. While we prove that, again, then our profit, we have to punch them 1-1, because if you do the answer, it will give you the answer, which is 15k, but we're not interested in that. We want to know your material cost also. 125k minus this one, 125 multiplied by 0.6 is 75k minus 0.2 times 125, 25. Excuse me. 25k minus 10k. Then 125 minus 75 minus 25 minus 10k to 15k. Then now it balances. We are getting our 15k that we are desiring, and we are realizing that we had 60,000, now we have 75 and 25. They've increased up 25,000 kamo, it has increased up 25,000 nikara. Then we go back to that percentage change. I might say I want to know what would be the new material cost percentage change. From here, then we do the percentage change of the material cost and the thing. But you know that this thing has increased kapka in total 30k, if not mistaken, because new material cost ke no 75 75 minus 60 again, which is giving you 25k, isn't it? It's giving you what? 15. Okay, and then the new production cost equals to 25k minus what? 20k iba 5k. Then you know your overall cost, in cost increase k 20k. We've added 20k in order for us to achieve 15k profit. Is it what? Then battery percentage. So ena iba 5 over 20 multiplied by 10 by 100, and then other one iba 15 by 60 multiplied by 100. I believe 25%, legamo 25%. Imagine that. Cost down increase by 25%, and you're comfortable with it. I will soon fire you. One pen 10,000. Just quiet. I think we can't rebel against your state, but they're pushing us. No, continue. Now we are going to another example. Home Depot's management wishes to track its investment in inventory as one of its performance measures. investment in inventory. There's a cost you pay to keep inventory. Again, there's a cost you pay. So inventory is part of your assets. Inventory as one of its performance measures. Home Depot had 11.4 billion invested in inventory and a total assets of 44.4 billion. Determine the investment inventory and total assets. Right? So we are looking for the percent invested in inventory. Percent invested in inventory. That's our main interest. So your machine in the plant is your asset. Okay? Your machine in the plant is your asset. Tafula, Tafula, maybe this project and it's my their laptop is their it's part of their assets. And then your inventory obviously is what you are buying to produce because you bought it. Understand? So that's your inventory. So you need to be able to combine them and make one. Inventory is divided into three. Next, one, raw material. Two, three, next. I'll remember about the subject matter in my session. The subject matter of supply chain and the subject matter of image management. Next, because I can see the topic is mostly focused on them. So now, for the first time, we'll have extensive amount of field for discuss. Then later, for the problem, we can apply and discuss. We explain. Then you need. So we will share about your theory. Mark, one thing that is guaranteed. Cardi calculations will pass any test and any exam. I don't know whether to say unfortunate, but it's unfortunate even for me. We have exam for this module. Others have CAS. Yeah, I'm so happy for CAS. Because now I produce one exam. Last month I produced 6 exams within a week. And I wasn't surprised every time I got a call from the invigilators and they said there are mistakes because of that was too much. At least now I'm producing one and I'm doing the module for the second time. So yeah, I'm gonna flow. I'm gonna enjoy my exams. But I am seeing even the teaching that has improved also. So I get right now you must be tough. But I'm not in that business of primary exam. Okay, so these are our formulas over here. We want to use this formula here. It is called the percentage invested in inventory equals to average inventory investment over total assets. So I'll write it in short. Percentage investment or invested or invested. Apologies, invested equals to average invested inventory over total assets, which is 11.4 billion and 44.4 billion multiplied by 100 equals to, what is it? Equals to 11.4 over 44.4, which is 25.6%. They are stating that over quarter of its assets, yeah, of its assets is inventory. 25% of the total asset is inventory. Understand? An inventory is something that is going, okay? It came, it got transformed, then it's going. Just like when we are able to keep you longer yet, it becomes a cost to you. Because I can pay to teach you twice and teach you once. Understand? That's why my desire now is not to fail studios in Afghanistan. First of all, I don't have that wish or mission. I want you to go. Le industry. Then now, if Home Depot drive down, the aim of you knowing that percentage of inventory committed to assets is that you want to drive it down. You must take it down. Find ways. Never suggest or regular equipment for you to reduce the costs daily. Never, ever, never. Find ways to do it without spending a dime. You'll be the most remembered IE of all time. We're in Africa, we're not in Germany, we're not in Japan. Those guys right now, I'm sure they're not producing content in Japan. Why? The birth rate has went down. Remember Sham? You know that? Remember Fan? Remember Fan? So, and we're complaining, Ronaldo, yeah, it's decreasing. Agree against what Donald Trump and other heads of state are saying, Ori. We don't want the same-sex marriages. They are strict there. And the moment you push that agenda, especially what he said, Ori, don't decolonize them, Balbanyan, or you are fine to say we are a girl or a boy and opposite and stuff like that. Not to be against any gender. I have friends running the gay couples married at this level. But I'm not actually pointing at me, Jolo. Can't be my friend, Sanyana. Never. I am married, and even my gay friends are married. Understand? So, but Barakawat, we are handicapped because of the number one fast growing country in the world is birth rate, which is China. Understand? Population is everything. And that's why the biggest country dependent on immigration is America. America was built by foreigners in simple terms. And they like saying immigrants. In Africa, we say foreigners. It was built by foreigners. Pumanje, the asylum seekers who went to America, the farmers who are also to Cape Town, they went there for 9 of them. They are already working for the family. You understand? To show for it, you need immigrants to run the country. There are things that, Rena, we don't want to do the 60-60 of draining those scooters. Let's be honest. Local foreigners are taking your jobs. Let's be honest. You won't do it. Be honest. You won't do it. And as a first option, you cannot work at McDonald's doing. As a first option, you will never. And even kids straight from matric, they won't do that. As a first option, you will never accept to be a waiter. As a first option, never. We don't do that. I'd rather be a police or a teacher or something. So you need migrants. I could see how did I deviate from the topic, but life, I have to teach about life. It's very important. You are going to industry very soon, and you mustn't get a shock of your life. So now they're driving down the assets. Sorry, the the interest. Sorry, the investment inventory. The percentage they're driving it down. So the new one is going to be 20%, which is 0.2 equals to average invested inventory over the total assets. Ne? This one goes there. We'll be left with our average this side. So now our new average, if we reduce, is going to be 0.2 multiplied by 44.4. Then it becomes how much? So this is actually the money that we are free. Yo guys, this is the money that is free. Money we will free up. How much is that? 0.2 multiplied by 4.4. So if you reduce that, what did I do now? Okay, so I see. I'm getting 8.88, ne? Which is in billion rands. So that you must take 11.4, the original. Okay? We want to see how much you're gonna free if you do a price reduction. Then you have 8.88. How much do you have now? What's your final answer? It's equals to 11.4 minus 8.88 equals to 2.52 again. Billion. If you reduce the amount of inventory, you gonna get more money, or you're gonna save more money. Yes. What like it again? This side. So if you reduce, this is in dollars. I want to keep, guys, I am mixing dollars and rands because all my tests are always going to be in rands. I have nothing to do with USC. Yes, we're continuing their content, but by Manya. In terms of like Malema, how he address certain factors. Malema is one guy also can retell lefela, and we take him for granted, unfortunately. But what can we do? So you know what, our politicians must get citizenship record Burkina Faso. So now on this exercise, PepsiCo Incorporate, manufacturer and distributor of cold drinks, Frito-Lay and Quack Foods, provides the following in recent annual report, and this is in billions. Ne? Determine PepsiCo turnover. We want to know their turnover. Ne? In that process, cost of goods sold is part of our formula. Okay? This is what we need. And then we have raw material inventory. This, we have that, ne? And when we add them up, when you add them up, what's this? How equates into? When you add them up, which is 0.74 plus 0.11 plus 0.84 equals to 1.69. Ne? So the one that is average, we will cover it next. Ne? I want to emphasize this part. You don't say divide by 3 because of the 3. Ne? You just add them up. Understand? There's another one whereby you need to divide. That one is based on time frame. You would say investment inventory right now mine plus the one in the future divided by whatever amount. You understand? Ne? So this one you keep it straight. If I give you this question, you add this. You don't do the average. Please, let's not get it wrong. So I can some more right just next door this. Did I move it or did I move? Hey, you mustn't move anything to the borderline. It changes the trajectory of my page. Let me just write here. All right. So we have inventory turnover equals to cost of goods sold over average. So cost of goods sold over average invested inventory. Which is 14.2 divided by 1.69, and we're getting 8.4, and that's how they've done that. And now you need to compare like this. They are saying now if Coca-Cola, now they are competitor now. Agree we're doing our PepsiCo. Yeah. If Coca-Cola cost of goods sold is 10.8 billion over inventory of 0.76. Now we are comparing again. This becomes 10 over 0.76 equals to 14.2. 14.2. So the turnover for Coca-Cola is higher, which is better. The higher the turnover, it means that you're performing better. And now there are fragments of what I said earlier and what I need to say now. The double period is not waiting for me properly, but I'll just say it as if I've never said it, because I've said it with the previous group. But I'm also confusing. This, it's not measured in any units, ne? Because we're taking cost over cost without cost per. I don't cost per unit. Cost over cost, meaning 14 billion as it is over 0.76 billion as it is. You understand? Then you're getting it this thing is 4 times. Yeah? So it's not any measurable figure. It's just a number. So however, this translates that the Coke is performing better. Coke is performing better. The higher your turnover, the better. Then using the data PepsiCo, now we want to determine the weeks of supply, weeks weeks of supply equals to the formulas I usually write them here. Always copy and paste them. Weeks of supply average inventory over that over 52. So it's going to be average inventory invested over cost of goods sold over 52, which is equals to 1.69 divided by 14.2 over 52. Address appeal on your calculator the 14 over 52 unless your calculator is smart. So that will be equals to divide by 52 0.273 1.69. That will be equals to 1.69 over my answer. I'm getting 6. Let's say 2 weeks. Okay, I don't know why it's a mistake, but 0.19, so it's almost 6.2 weeks. Yeah. Then this is how long it will take us to supply, which is how long you keep the material. And the longer you keep material, the more you have costs, insurance costs, overhead costs, security costs, storage costs, electricity, you name them all. Again, repercussions sometimes of certain foods is expired, they might expire, and that's sometimes a cost that you can't reclaim back. No? Guys, did you know that car tires do expire? If you don't use them by a certain date, you mustn't never use them anymore. Yeah. So that's the cost of inventory, the extent at which it can go. Batteries also, if they're not used, they do expire. And there are batteries that when they are new, you must charge them. And then there are batteries that when they are new, you mustn't charge them. Ne? There's a difference between acid battery and a lithium battery. Ne? So you go read on it so that you know when your laptop is new, should you charge it or should you not charge it? And that determines how long it will last. Because you can blow it not knowing. And immediately after that, your battery is messed up and you wonder why. Or it starts to expand. You wonder why. Can't it started in the beginning? Okay, so now we are continuing and saying that no, Bonang, determine this answer by yourself. Good. Determine that answer by yourself when you get time. Do not know we need to cruise. We started our classes on the 4th week. You can imagine how much behind we are. Rao. How fit our bum rao. So you see our related problems. If you want to really sink it in, immediately jump to them after you solve the examples. Ne? When you're studying, immediately jump to those ones, the problems. And then behind the book there is what you call the answers. Ne? If you're stuck, you come to me. Now, Jack's Pottery Outlet has total end of year assets of 5 million. So these are total assets, 5 million. And the first of the year inventory was inventory, yeah, beginning and end. And then with a year end inventory of 325 label, and the total annual cost of goods of so it calls for this formula. So the average inventory value for the same period or beginning label, beginning plus ending inventory. So you do the average there, divide by 2. So we have two figures there, the beginning and the ending. And we have the two figures there. So that is II, which is inventory invested, or investment inventory invested. So we start by that. Inventory investment equals to 375k plus 325k over 2, which is equals to 325 plus 375 over 2, 350. 350k. Yeah? But I didn't finish the question. They want to know or evaluate supply chain performance. So this is the measures of supply chain performance. Percent of assets invested, inventory turnover, and weeks of supply. You see that? Then we're done with this part. We're going to percent of inventory, I'll just say II, equals to average II over total cost equals to 350k over 5 million. Can one around 5 million? 5k, yeah? But as a 5,000k. Okay? K multiplied by 100 equals to times 100, 7%. So 7% is dedicated into your assets, like into your total asset of your inventory. No. Percent of your assets, it's your inventory. Yeah. Then 2, we want to know turnover now. In your test, you must have your alphabets, ne? B. Turnover. So they call it inventory turnover, ne? So inventory T, which is equals to cost of goods sold over average, which is cost of goods 7 million. 7,000K over 350K equals to, then you're getting 20. Remember I said as a figure, yeah? Then weeks of supply, which is going to be C. Weeks supply. How long are you going to keep the material? Because the longer you keep it, the costly you become. So it means that the less you keep it, the better. In North Africa, because most of people coming from the north, they travel the world. On our about to, they are serious about migration, must go to North Africa, northwest of Africa and the likes. So when the parent dies, they don't arrange a date next week for the funeral. They can even do it next year. They will keep the body until their kids and the grandsons from UK, Croatia, Australia, they all come. So they will fight and fight and fight until they get one date, and then they will bury on that date. It can easily be next year. So imagine what happened to the mosques Sako, Nigeria. They will be packed with bodies. And Asongore, they are lost. No, they're still fighting. Which date? They have to bury their father or their loved one. It's common. Cameroon, Congo, and the likes. It's common. Ari now, Saturday. You're gone. So weeks of supply is going to be weeks of supply equals to, we've done this before, which is going to be formula, but I know average average II le cost goods over 52, then which is going to be 350 over cost of goods, which is 7 million over 52. You'll do the answer by yourself. 7,000 multiplied by 1,000, I get a million. 7 million again. So 7,000K. The scalar rate, so our own theory is more. Leona 350 multiplied by 1,250K. Then we're starting the problems. Yo, Matisa. Yes, I am tired, but let's push. We don't have any choice. My problem with prolonging the class is that the recording becomes very long. But I'll cruise. Now I'm cruising. Let us cruise. How Lee, from the example, in example 1 of this chapter, finds a current profit of 10,000 inappropriate or inadequate. That's how Lee, again. The bank is insisting on an approved profit picture prior to approval of a loan for some new equipment. How would like to improve the profit line to 25,000? Lamon Howley, he wants to make his profit move from 10,000 to 25,000 so he can obtain the bank's approval for the loan. Then number 1, what percentage improvement is needed in the supply chain strategy for profit to improve to 25,000? And what is the cost of material with a 25,000 profit? They want the percentage improved again, and they want the cost of the material. So it's a trick. You can't get the percentage before you find that cost. So you need to do inversely. I'll try to make them sequentially now when I test. And I'll try to ask you everything that we are answering, we are doing, I'll try to ask it. So number one will be the new cost. Okay, let's start with understanding the profit first, which is the new profit 25, ne? Okay, new profit equals to the current plus the current and increase. This we want to the increase profit increase. Let's just say increase. So the increase. So we're looking for the increase. So this two they minus, which is going to be 25k minus current again, which is 10k, and then the increase is going to be, so the profit increase is going to be 15k, right? So this is how much our profit must increase by. Last time they gave it was 5,000. This time they didn't give us. No, please. No, it was 5,000. Yeah, that's in the previous question. Yes, they had it. Now they don't have it. So we are looking for it. So after that, then you're gonna say, percent. What is it? Percent increase of material cost equals to this 15. It's gonna come directly from here. We are comparing with the material cost over 60 equals to multiply by 100. So that improvement here is 15 over 60. It's 25%. It's going to be 25%. So we found the profit increase. So now we want to find the material cost itself now. How much the material cost will cost us. How much will this thing cost us? So we're going to the new material cost. New material cost is equals to the current material cost of 60k minus the desired profit increase, which is going to be 60 minus 15, 45k. Then big question, are we getting what we are looking for? Profit equals to all the figures we mentioned previously, 100k minus 45k minus 20k minus 10k. We must get 25k if this is right. 100 minus 45 minus 20 minus 10. Answer yakaki 25k. That's a desired profit. So it means that our figure is right. I will always say find the new profit. I will always say find the new profit. I'm going to sit down, apply my mind today to derive my line of questioning, because the textbook, I realize it doesn't necessarily ask you what is it that you need. You end up writing all over and stuff like that, and you talk to mark. But moderator might be against that and say this person is not answering what we have asked them. So I will definitely. I'll start typing today my test questions on this, or whether they're going to be an exam, I'm going to do it today. If it's going to be a test, I'm going to do it today after this. At least tomorrow I'm resting. I'm not resting. Friday I have another class that I must cross night with. You know what? I'm forever cross-native for your classes, guys. Yo. Scampana give flow so in front of you guys. When I study alone, I study forever. Ke slow nyana, but yeah, in front of you, I have to show you some charisma nyana. You want to say, I understand what I'm doing. So now we are doing the same with the sales, but we know that the sales is approached differently. We say our profit, we have formulas already. Time is not in our side anymore. Our desired profit, 25k, mine equals to sales, yeah, okay, which is not known. We are determining the sales again. Then minus 0.6 of what? Unknown. So, okay, now we can be smart and say, we know already that these guys are going to be 0.2. Aye. 0.2 sales minus 10k. Then this guy goes that side. 0.2 sales equals to 25k plus 10k. Oh. Sales equals to 35k over 0.2. Answer came 175 if not mistaken. 175k. That's our new sales. Then we go to when I want to find the right name for this. How I'm going to go. I want you to prove it again, but no one say prove it. Determine. I'll say determine the new cost of material and cost of production when using the sales strategy. Again, because now I will say determine the sales as question mark. Okay, this which is this 175. Then I need to now be able to say what is the material cost and what is the production cost. So you determine them in this next formula. And at the same time, it's more like you're proving your profit. No? Equals to 175 minus 0.6 multiplied by 175, which is now giving you the material cost minus 0.2 multiplied by 175k minus, I believe that one is still 10k, minus 10k. Okay. We must do them ka one because you want to identify them. I'll put marks on them. And this 0.6 multiplied by 75, 105. Minus 0.2 multiplied by 175, 35k. Minus 10k. But do you see the price increase your material from 60 to almost double? That's alarming. That's really alarming. Then 175 minus 104, 105 minus 35 minus 10k. About 25. And 25k, it's more like you can just say 25 is equal to 25. We have achieved our 25k. Again, our profit is 25k. We have achieved our 25k. And this is how you read your answer. But I'm going to force you to do it for marks. And what I hate about this question Write all the formulas. And this is what I hate about this question. Why? Because it's a dynamo effect question. If you make a mistake, you lose a lot of marks. And the nice part, when your profit doesn't add up, you go fix. Okay? You'll be knowing that the profit that is desired to 25K, you are told in that question. So you must prove that 25K. Even if I didn't ask you to prove it, because you never know, this change, lecture can change also. 25K, you need to prove it, then you know. Because it's a dynamo effect question, and I hate dynamo effect questions, and I'll try by all means to reduce them. And the more you reduce them, the more you lose. So what I will do, in one test, I won't have multiple dynamo effect questions to like we were most of our test question. And even the percentage is there, right there and there. Yeah, 105. You need to understand. 105 minus 60. 45K. Imagine that. 45,000 increase of material cost. No company will allow such. They'll tell you, hey, you don't do that. And in percentage form, it is 75% increase. That's a lot. And also you can do the sales profit, also, sorry, the sales increase percentage. Earlier 175, it will be, obviously this went up 75 multiplied by 100. That is 75% increase. So that 75% increase is it's across board. So the material cost goes up 75%, the production cost goes up 75%. 75% key distinction in Monalapeng. It just tells you how much you are wasting. You can't increase cost 75%. Now you're fire. So the next exercise is sharper star. Tuesday. Tuesday. Wednesday. I'm still not just given a chance to play around my final marks, but I'm still applying my mind. No? I still can't play around with my final marks. I'm still applying my mind. One day get all the shocker. Better do all my homeworks. One day get all the shock. Ne? One day get all the shock. Right now I can't still play. I'll consult. Okay. This question, ladies and gentlemen, this question is straightforward, Leon. What is Baker's inventory turnover? Again, you know the formula turnover. Again, which is the bigger value, which is total assets, ne? Cost of sales over average inventory. I believe so. Cost of turnover or cost of goods sold over average. So they are comparing there. Market 18 times per year. Their competitors turnover is 13 times per year. So they want to compare your turnover with theirs. So which is 21 over 21.5 over 1.25. And we're getting 17.5, which is better than theirs. Ne? So this one, Leona, Bazalwane, homework. I've done a lot of these examples. It's tiring. Even this one, 11.6, homework. All right, and then me, I'm gonna just do these ones fast. The grocery industry has annual inventory turnover of about 14 times, ne? Organic grocers incorporate had cost of goods sold last year of 10 million cost of goods sold, and they have average inventory of that. What was organic grocers turnover basically, and how does it perform compared to everyone else? So there's your formula there. Inventory T cost you. This one I'll just say call it C over A. Now go sale 10.5 over 1 equals to 10.5. You compare that with that 14 times. How is it compared? It's bad. Good. These guys, the grocers incorporate, they're performing poorly compared to the rest of the market. Again, these are the business statistic and language that is used by everyone else. If everyone else is using it, you must use it to compare yourself with everyone else in your own industry. It's also called best practices. Again, moving right along. Last question. I'm tired as much as you are. Now I want claim or have energy. I don't have. Mattress Wholesalers Incorporated is constantly trying to reduce inventory, reduce inventory in its supply chain. Last year, cost of goods sold was 7.5, and then in inventory was 1.5. This year, cost of goods sold is 8.6, and inventory investment is 1.6. Then they ask you what was the weeks of supply for last year. Last year, it is last year. You consider last year. Understand? You don't combine the two averages. You stick to what they've asked you. So let's do the last year only. If we get the last year, it means that this year is easy. So what do they want? Weeks of supply. Okay. Weeks of supply. Okay, we have to do them both so that we can compare them. Okay. Equals to, I know there's average and then there's C over 52, which is equals to, what is my average here last year? 1.5 over 7.5 versus 1.6 over 8.6. Now we're doing the comparison. 1.5 divided by 7.5 is 0.2. Oh, yeah, 52. Yeah, thank you. Abo, atuba soba banyake. 7.5 divided by 52. Thank you. Oh, can't stress too much. Thank you. Which is 10.4. Then 1.6, no. 8.6 divided by 52 is that, and then 1.6 over my answer then EVA 9.67. This is in weeks. They were holding their material for 10 weeks. Now they're doing it just under 10 weeks. This is what you're saying. So they have improved. The longer you hold the material, the more you pay. Can't argue. And that's why we were recording, and the recording ends here. Okay, guys, thank you so much. And please subscribe to my channel again.